Good evening, everyone. Let me just make sure my volume is working and we'll get started. Good evening. Okay, welcome to my first Friday Folds. This is something I'm going to be doing with you once a month, and it's going to be on the last Friday of every month. Tonight we're going to be working on a double Z fold. And that opens this way, and that's why it's called a double Z, because you have two pieces of cardstock that are hooked together. Isn't that neat? And most of the products we're using tonight are from the True Gentleman suite. I myself love to make masculine cards. If you turn to page 45, we're going to be using the Truly Tailored stamp set, True Gentleman buttons, Tailored tag punch, and the True Gentleman Designer Series paper. And I've used this paper so much so far that I only have like half of a package left. These are all of the patterns, and if I flip this over, we have more of the Night of Navy or Dapper Denim, some of the greens. So that's the paper we're going to be using. Just a reminder that you can view the whole video with me and then give me a few minutes after it's posted on Facebook. And when I end it, it takes me a couple minutes to post it, so you can go back and look at it again. So I'm going to be using different colors for tonight's card. Chocolate chip, 11 by 4 1/4, and we're going to score that at 5 1/2. The True Gentleman Designer paper, 5 inches by 3 3/4. Whisper White, 5 1/4 by 4. Now these layers go on the right hand side of the card, and I'll show you how to do that. The next set of measurements is on the right. Whisper White, 2 1/2 by 4. And designer paper, 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. So that's the right hand, or the left hand side. The portion that opens in the middle, you're going to need Whisper White, 5 1/4 by 4, scored at 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. Chocolate chip, 2 1/2 by 2 3/4. And then what I did for, if you'll notice here, these are all punched shapes from the tailored punch. And what I did is I used up some of my scrap designer paper. So they're actually 2, and I cut them in half. So you're going to need 4 half pieces. And then you're going to need a white piece for the sentiment. Now, let me go grab my paper cutter so I can show you where to score. I forgot to bring that with me. So the first thing that needs to be scored is the card base. And we're going to score that at 5 1/2. And then we need to score that in half again. So we're going to do 2 3/4. And then this is where we're going to fold this like a Z fold. Fold in half first. And then you're going to bring this in the opposite direction. So that's where you get your Z fold. So let's do this part first. I'm going to bring in the Whisper White layer. And once you have everything all cut out and scored, this card really comes together quite nicely. Now I'm also going to post this to YouTube. So you'll have either Facebook or YouTube that you can go back and view this. Okay, so that's it for the inside. Now let's glue the pieces to the right hand side. I'm hoping my lighting is better tonight. I've been trying to work on better lighting. So please let me know if you can't see this well. I did a practice run and it looked like it was much better. There was no glare. So I'm hoping this works. Okay, and there's the designer paper. And if you'll notice, I did use 2 different patterns. So they're opposite to each other. Okay, now all we have left to do is the center portion. I'm going to start out with my sentiment with chocolate chip ink. And the one I had on this card says to a classy kind of guy. This one says looking sharp. I love all the sentiments in this set. Okay, so that's this shape. I did have a customer of mine that said she didn't like this punch, but I love it. You can do so much with it. Okay, now we're going to bring this in. And we're going to score at 2.5 and 2 3/4. No, wait a minute, I did that wrong. 2 3/4. I was looking at my wrong sheet. And 5 1/4. And again, we're going to fold this in a Z fold. And the best way to do this, no, I didn't cut that right. Hold on a second. Let me trim this. Let me cut another piece of paper. I totally messed that up. So you can see I make mistakes too. I need to get my cheat sheet. So that one is 3 by 8 1/4. And then we're going to score again at 2 3/4. I think I cut it wrong the first time. 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. So I'm going to have to fix that measurement for you because when you fold this, these are all even. All 3 squares are even. There, that looks better. So now we're going to bring in the chocolate chip layer. And once I post this video, I'll add all the measurements too in the top portion, so you'll have them. Okay, so that's going to go right there. And then we're going to take all 4 of the punched pieces and just add them to the edge of each side. I lost one. That's okay because I should show you how I cut these anyway. Okay, let me grab my designer paper. Now what I did, this is good for scraps. If you have scraps, what I did is just put this in halfway and I snipped. So let's say you have a strip of paper that's just this size, you can actually cut that. And see how you don't waste any paper. So that's a good way to use up your scraps. I know I'll find this piece once I'm done my card, but that's okay. And now I'm going to use stamping dimensionals to add my sentiment. That's going right in the center. So see, when you look at both cards, they're different, but they're both kind of cute. And then I have 2 buttons. I've gone ahead and added linen thread. This one I double knotted. This one has 4 holes, so I made a cross. And what I'm going to do is add glue dots to the back of my buttons. And this one I didn't tie the thread because I didn't want it to be bulky underneath. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a glue dot right in the middle. And then fold these over on top of the glue dot so they're glued in place. And you don't have that bulky knot in the way. And then I'll add 2 more glue dots and glue that to the card. And lastly, we're going to add the sentiment. Make sure I don't have it upside down, which I did. And that's going to go right here. And then there's always a little bit of room there for a signature if somebody wants to add a signature. Okay, I get this upside down. Boy, I'm not doing good tonight. It's supposed to fold the other way. I lifted this up the wrong way. So we're going to fix it. So that's strike 2 for me tonight. And that's not going to glue on there. So let me add some liquid glue. My boob is not even going to show because I'm going to put this over the sentiment. I always tell my girls in class there's always a way to fix a boo-boo. And see, this is on the back, but that's going to be glued to the card anyway. And that goes right there. Now the best way to glue this on is to put the adhesive on the back, fold it, and you're going to center this, press down, and then we're going to lift this up, bring this over, and we're only going to add glue to half of the cardstock. Press this flat, fold this down. Let me just hold it for a second. And then there's your Z fold. Isn't that neat? So there's 2 cards. And like I said, I'll add all of the measurements. And I just wanted to let you know I'm going to be also doing a Tuesday techniques. And that's going to be on the first Tuesday of every month. So I'm going to do that on February 6th will be my next one. So that'll be February 6th at 7 p.m. If you have any questions, leave me comments. If you would like to see a particular technique or card fold, let me know too, and I'll see if I can do a class for you. Thanks for stopping by.